All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Brewing with Birch and Bromley. We're gonna try and be a little more regular because everybody likes a regular. Everybody likes being regular.
Yeah,
Good fiber, nice poops.
of course,
Just being
dude.
regular. Everybody
Gotta be
loves it.
regular. Yeah.
So, realistically, as everybody knows, fucking UFS and UVS don't really have much shit to talk about. So we're just gonna go over standard, I guess, because there was a tournament. I don't know if you guys watched it. I don't know if you guys entered it. It wasn't very well advertised.
Yeah.
I had some people who popped into the chat when we were when I was commentating. We were like, "Oh, I didn't even know this was today." Yeah, so not a good advertisement on Jasco Games' part for an event that they wanted to have with their community.
How many
before the
people
end
were
of the
there?
year.
Like 36 or something?
36, and I think 2 people were no-shows, so 34.
That's
I know.
that's like four more than a big PTC.
Sure. I mean, it was certainly a large event or like a good-sized event.
Yeah,
But
it was not large. It was okay.
I would say in comparison to a PTC, though, people from all over the country,
Yeah.
technically all over the world, could have entered this.
True.
So it should have been, in my opinion, around 50.
Yeah.
I think 50 would have been a good number, especially because they're getting almost 40 something for retro events.
Yeah.
But the retro events are well advertised.
True.
They make posts about them. They're like, "Hey, it's coming up, retro, blue, 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 blue,
Yeah,
blue." We talk about them too.
I thought there would be a lot more people.
Same.
Just because it's standard, right? The first standard event
Yeah.
all year. So I thought it would be more hype, but I guess it's the end of the year. This year in general has been pretty crazy. And I'm sure there's lots of people who are kind of like not even thinking about universes.
Yeah. No,
Who
absolutely.
are just like, yeah, we can talk about when there's a release.
Right. We don't all have not every play group's got the Jose Neronos and Chris Bromleys of the world grinding games at 4 a.m.
Right.
Memeing it up. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see people just being kind of over it at this moment.
Yeah, grinding it out and then still losing to Mark Tyner.
Fuck that guy. We love you, Mark, but fuck you. You can't beat all of the homies and still be a homie. It's not cool, man. Let some of the other homies win.
It's messed up, dude.
But yeah, it was really strange just to see I feel like the reception was so weird. Like, I feel that the streams don't routinely have more players than the events.
Yeah,
but we were getting 60 views.
Yeah, during the semifinal, there were definitely 60 people. It was pretty cool. But that's weird because there were only 36 people actually playing in the event, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, oh, go ahead.
So it's probably, a big thing is that people have seen how long these retro events go, and sitting in your chair is different from being in one of those, like going to an event for a weekend and sitting down is different from sitting at my computer for 12 hours. And,
yeah, ordering a pizza and having to pick it up and that's it.
I can't do anything else, right? I couldn't even cook because there's no lunch break.
Right.
I'd prepare my lunch beforehand and in one of the games that was quick, go in and cook it up. But yeah, it was a weird, I made a big stink beforehand. I did actually on our video too last week that I was saying that I begged Mark and JJ to come out, right? Because they're the current reigning champions of UFS, right?
Yeah, they're very good.
They're super good players. So I was like, I talked to them a month and a half ago, and I was like, hey, you guys gotta play this. Take off time from work, come do this thing. I'll pay for your entry if you really want me to. And they were like, okay, yeah, sounds great, man. They showed up, and I was telling everybody, I was like, hey, man, you should play the event. We got the champions of UFS playing. It's gonna be great. And that was great. It was great that they showed up, but I was sad that there weren't more people coming out. Maybe I'm just terrible at marketing, but
yeah, our video that came out the day before the event, and their one post from Jasco Games in October couldn't sell everybody on this standard tournament.
Right, wasn't it? Especially since our video was really just about the playtest.
Yeah, it was more of about the taste testing. Wink.
I hate that.
I hate it too. But other than the not like advertised event, a little bit smaller turnout than we would have expected. The event itself looked like it went pretty smoothly. I understand that like no lunch break's kind of a bummer, but besides that, I mean, it started at noon for most people. I mean, if you're on the West Coast, I guess you're just kind of like boned, like you just didn't.
For sure.
But like East Coast people like us, you're gonna get like, you know, you can go get like a nice breakfast, hang out, maybe get some snackies, you know.
Yeah.
And then you get your like dinner break at like 7 or whatever for like it was only a half an hour, which was also kind of short. But I understand them wanting to like bang that out because it still went until 1 a.m. 1:30 actually. It was late.
It went very late. That was the latest one for sure. Of these online events.
Nobody was playing this because like the top cuts wasn't aggro. You couldn't just there were no aggro decks.
True, yeah. The top cuts, like the first top. Oh my gosh, that Cassie versus Taki round was.
It was legitimately like a 3-hour round. It felt like it was like 2.5 at least.
It was long enough that I played balloons during it, and I got to like round 260. That takes a long time.
I've got to say, from my own commentary perspective, I got to tag out with somebody after Swiss. I had no fun in the top cuts, and I was just like, I was lost. I was just like petting my dog. I was doing everything that wasn't talk about the game because I was just like, I am fried, and I do not care about these people anymore. Like,
yeah, one of the funniest things is like I don't experience burnout all that much. Like I'll get tired, but usually towards like Saturday I played the 6 rounds. I didn't do top cuts because I sucked. But like the next day I played a Warhammer tournament. And that was another like almost 12 hours. And by the end of the day, John Henry, who was my like partner in the 2v2s for Warhammer, was like, what do I do, Chris? What do I do, Bromley? And I was over here like,
you're like, I'm juiced.
Yeah.
I'm ready, baby. Yeah. And he's just slumping out.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got home. Yeah, it wasn't until I got home, and I had to play John Owen in the Legendary Wolf Games thing at like 1 a.m. And I was like, maybe I should have done this in the morning.
We should have scheduled a better time, buddy.
Yeah, but like it took like 2 full days of tournaments to get me like actually.
That's like, a burnout.
I don't want to play games right now.
That's the that's like the Nationals like grind almost right there. You know, you're doing 2 days and then top cuts, and you get to almost experience what it would be like to have fun again.
Yeah, dude.
What is fun like these days?
Yeah. Well, but I think the event itself was fine. There were a lot of pretty neat decks. No Shivas was interesting. Not a whole lot. I don't think there was a Spike. Was there anybody playing
There was
Spike?
There was like an extreme lack of the top end of the format.
Sure.
There was no Shiva, no Spike. There was no Raptor. There was no Kuwabara. There was no like Lilith. Tim Keefe put out a huge list in between one of the like rounds, between round 1 and round 2 of the stream, where it was just like, we're just not seeing any of these good characters, and we're seeing a lot of people's like just pet decks, like stuff that they've played forever, stuff that they're really comfortable with. And I think it's probably just a factor of like, you don't have to test as much. You didn't have to really work on a comfort zone. You got to play just kind of your fun stuff, your stuff that you always play.
That's true. Yeah. Let's see. So I played round 1 into, man, I don't remember what I played round 1. I burned him to death. And then I played into this Turnaloose player who was like, I think he was on speed. The guy was going 1,000 miles an hour.
Nice.
Like
he was zipping.
He ate an entire cheeseburger like into the microphone. It was pretty funny. Like during the match, I was just like, okay, man. And he was like, hang on, I gotta get my sandwich. And I was like, all right, man. And he came back, and I heard like the entire like. I'm gonna put a Turnaloose in my card pool for 4 damage, and I was like, "Yep."
That's disgusting. I hate that.
Block with Claymore.
That is disgusting. I wish we would have been streaming. I wish I would have heard We need the live listens on our podcast or on our stream next time. I need to get the what the people are saying. You know,
it was pretty funny. I mean, he wasn't it wasn't an asshole. Really. I just thought it was funny though. He ate the entire cheeseburger. Maybe he had one of these mics, right? Like one of these came out the side, so he just didn't have.
Yeah, where you're just like right here.
Yeah.
I find that problem when I'm eating. I try and like turn the mic away. I'm like, please don't hear me eating.
Yeah, and then I played Mark Tyner, and that match I just could not draw gas, like the right gas. Like I couldn't get any of my Soul of the Swords or my second Saintly Beasts, but he killed me with Burn in the first game, which was really fucking funny.
We watched that actually on stream. It was it was like tragic because I'm like hyping the deck up the whole time. I'm like, this is probably an okay matchup. He doesn't really attack. It's fine. He doesn't need to like pass a million checks. And it was just like, yeah, I swear he plays cards that make this matchup not bad, guys. Like,
so I
swear.
I played against Mark because he wanted to test. He had never played on TTS. So earlier in the night, I was teaching JJ. He figured it out pretty quickly, and then I played Mark afterwards, and it was pretty late in the night. But he was getting it together. He wanted. His sleeves were all whacked out, but I fixed it for him. But it was pretty like the first game I controlled it the entire time. The second game he went first and just like built a million, and I couldn't catch up. And he just went like coffee samba, pulse flare, and I was like, okay, well, I can't do much about that. And then the third game was another like I felt like I was completely in control. Like he had some pieces, like Orphan Alchemist for my expert archeries and Saved by Elena's. But like it didn't feel like he had much game into the Bakugo. So I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Like it in theory in my head it was good for Bakugo because I didn't have to attack him until I was ready to burn him to death, and then kill him with Blood for Bloods or Flame Auras. But then like at the event and like I swear I have a point. It's like it completely changed. Like he. I don't know if he was like, fuck, I lost to this Bakugo deck. I don't want to lose this. That's probably not what it is because that's not how Mark like functions. Yeah. But like he put on his thinking cap and he really like it wasn't just that my deck was shitting on me. I mean, it certainly was. The first game he didn't have a White House for the first 5 turns, and like I would review a big shot because there was like only one in my discard pile, and I was like, well, if I draw an attack and then another big shot, I definitely kill, you know. It's way too fast. And I had 2 Eyes of Hiei, and he only had 1 Face of a Monster, so I had 2 more.
You could zone change it.
Yeah, so you couldn't just Flame Aura it. But I just wasn't drawing the big shots, and then eventually he did get the White House, and like I had to like I held onto a Dark Kirito for like probably 8 or 9 turns, just because I was waiting for the rest, some other stuff to go with it. But it wasn't just that. Like he was really patient. And like knew what my deck did now, and played around it properly. And then the second game, you know, he played around my offense really well and revoked the right things and killed me with a big string in return. So I mean, like that's there's a reason why the other Kevin Broberg didn't do so well. Just because it's not an easy deck to pilot. Like a lot of people are going to come after this event like, Kevin Broberg needs to be banned. It's totally unfun. And like. The second thing is totally true.
Like one of those points is at least very correct.
It's so little fun to stare into that deck. I think that like if it were up to me, I would say that the response needs to have a cap on how much it can minus your check.
Absolutely.
But like I think that it's certainly manageable, right? He didn't even Mark didn't like 2-0 the entire event. I think in Top Guts he went 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, right?
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other Mark Tyner, the other Kevin Broberg did not do so hot. I think it was Zach Paisley, and Zach Paisley's not a poor player. It's just like it's not easy to pilot that deck.
It's not immediately the most negative thing. You have to actually have a lot of experience with.
Sure.
I won't say with the format, but like with UFS competitively, because you have to know what your right plays are.
Yeah, and you have to sack. You have to sack too. I mean, you gotta draw those 3 Princess Parries if you want to have the really insufferable defense.
You get and obviously the deck has a lot of draw. Obviously the deck has a lot of defense outside of Princess Parry, but Princess Parry and Kevin are the primary defensive tools that it has.
Yeah.
And I would also agree with you that I don't think that we need to like ban Kevin. I think that he should get the second chance at life that Tim Two Dot got.
Yeah.
Like change something about him. I don't think we need to be like, all right, this guy, ban him, but we're gonna make the exception and not ban this other character. Like, I think that's kind of silly. If you're gonna errata one champ card, errata the other one. Just fair is fair in that regard.
For conjecture on my part, it's like, how much speed is okay? Is it okay for a character to have, right? Like sitting in the staging area, like Garrett Brett's card has a lot of speed, but it's based on the number of cards in my opponent's discard pile, and like max, you're getting like 4 speed, right?
I think that that if that card had like with the first form, which is very good, if that guy had like a -4 max. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, like -4 speed or -4 to your check to play a card is +4 speed to my attack. That's a lot. I mean, like I in my head I thought 5. Like 5 is the nice round number that UFS is always going to, right? And I think -5 is reasonable without being insufferable, right?
Which is not oppressive.
Like it has this sort of situation where you can't go into deadlock because of 6 face of monsters in his staging area.
Sure.
And you can't not build into deadlock because you need to be able to block a +12 speed pulse flare.
Yeah, you have to have. It's a deck that certainly like rewards a player for really considering their deadlock options.
Yeah,
or even like having anti-discard or something in the event that you do need to discard cards.
Yeah,
like. If a deck with Pure of Heart got to build into deadlock against that deck, and he can't just willy-nilly throw around his face of the monsters.
That's what Jose did.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't. He literally can't just face of a monster him because Jose can discard Pure Heart. Then you get rid of his face of a monsters.
Yeah,
and then like he's just kind of doomed. Like then you have the tempo.
Yeah,
the deck is super heavily reliant on very specific pieces like Princess Perry, Flame Aura, but Flame Aura specifically with face of a monster.
Yeah, with face of a monster.
A lot of the cards have very powerful deadlock effect, or not deadlock effects, desperation effects, and like that, in my opinion, is fine. Like I know that there were it was 5 evil decks in Top Cuts.
Yeah,
but they all played pretty differently. Like, I don't have an issue with evil being overrepresented because it wasn't the same deck 5 times.
So which ones were it? It was like Nightmare.
So we had Turnloose, Nightmare, Kevin Broberg, Taki, and there was one more. Astroth. Every single one of them played a different style.
Yeah, those are 4 aggro decks and Kevin though.
I think the Taki isn't necessarily an aggro deck. I know Colby checks 6s like a motherfucker, but I would not call that an aggro deck.
I think I would always. I mean,
I think Taki and Turnloose are more mid-rangey that can blow you up.
Sure,
but I think that I don't think I would classify them as aggro like I would with Astroth or the Nightmare, where you're just like yeet attacks that are huge.
Sure. I can see that. But like what I'm saying is that it's not like you were saying, it wasn't all the same decks, but some of them were really similar, right? Like a lot of their game plans were very similar. Just yeet these huge fucking attacks, right? Turn-Loose is checking at Illurophobias for 28, Prism Storm for 14 or 11. Astaroth is trying to do these big old strings with Hellfires and picking up Princess Parries and
But if you look at it, they were all different big attacks.
They were different lists with different game plans. It just shows that like Evil has a lot of really powerful options going for it, right?
Absolutely.
And there was no Scorpion at the event, right?
Yeah, and that was Evil showing out like overwhelmingly with no Scorpion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess my point, not really to say that Evil is like this super overpowered symbol. It was just like that happened to be overrepresented in the event in general. There were I think 9 or 10 Evil decks, and everything else had like, I think the second highest was like 5 or something.
Yeah, there weren't very many all decks. There weren't very many good decks either. Like there was no Takeda. There was no.
There's a lot of things that had answers probably to Evil that just didn't show up. Like that just not necessarily were there. Like. Spike would be like, I feel like Spike has a pretty decent matchup into most Evil decks.
Yep.
Like every time I've seen Spike against Evil, it's like it's kind of like the Spike highlight reel where the Evil deck doesn't get to do anything because Spike's just got better cards.
Right.
Like Spike's effects are typically just better.
Right.
But yeah, I think that it was kind of cool to see. It was neat to see how everybody was playing kind of different stuff.
Right.
What I didn't like was through streaming 13 hours, we probably saw 70 different things get missed from players, 100 million play mistakes. It was crazy how rusty people are. It was crazy.
I mean, that makes sense. People haven't had like a lot of people haven't had like a big event since February, right?
Yeah, no, and it was just like, wow, this is like it makes sense. It's just like holy moly.
Yeah.
It was pretty like it was just super telling. Like, wow, you guys are actually rusty. Like which is cool, but it was just like holy moly.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 days ago, I missed Lethal with Bang. Like I just forgot that Bang had a response on it.
Like just Bang doesn't exist
anymore
because of retro all year.
Yeah, like I just forgot that it had a response, and my opponent was like, "It's a good thing you didn't have Bang," and I was like,
like, oh,
oops.
Yeah, good thing I didn't have Bang. Doesn't play it next turn, just like casually just loses the game without revealing his secret.
Right. I didn't have Bang.
You got me. Picks up cards really quickly so opponent doesn't see.
Yeah. Yeah. There was also there were some really fun things, right? Like Bo Tucker went really he was going wild for the early part of the event. He unluckily went 0-2 at the end of the event. I also got demolished at the tail end of the event. But there were some really, really neat things, right? JJ was playing Raphael. I did play against that deck. It was pretty cool. He was doing like Dirty Bow into Meteors into Royal Poisons. It was just really big, meaty. That's how I played round one. I played Scott Summon round one and died. The only way that I've ever died to Scott Summon, which is trying to block a 3-speed attack and checking a 3. It's the only way I'll ever die to Scott Summon, dude.
Wait, I thought you. Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. I guess you started 0-1, huh?
I did start 0-1.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And then I won against the Turnaloose. I got
the only way I've ever lost to Scott Summon.
It's the only way I've ever lost to Scott Summon, dude, is by being like, yeah, on a 5 checks a 3. Okay. It's next one. And I beat the Turnaloose. I got beat by Mark. Who did I beat after that? So definitely had 2 wins. Oh, wait. I played against Andres, who was playing. He was the judge for the retro events. He was playing a Satoshi.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's an actual 19 health character, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
And he had no interaction.
Unless he draws the good ones, like.
Yeah, I think he took a game off of like. It was interesting. He was running like Casas, and the Satoshi attack with like noobs, and every 6 check ever. And he was just getting value with that Ermac 2/6 that's like 6+ get 2 damage.
Oh yeah, sure.
So his attacks were just getting 1 trillion damage, right?
Serving the Outworld.
Serving the Outworld. They were just like big fast and big damage. It was a very like simple idea, but I was like, wow, those are big attacks, dude.
Yeah.
Slow down there, Chief.
Hey, sometimes the simple ideas may not be the most flashy, but like they can get the job done, man. If you're just throwing big boy attacks
for sure
with stats on them, like that'll always get the job done every now and then, you know?
Yeah, and then I lost to JJ, and then Nick Reagan absolutely sacked me with 7 attacks on turn 2 in game 3 of my match with him.
Man, you play Nick Reagan in every event, huh?
I guess, dude, all the time.
Every single event you play Nick Reagan.
I guess so. I was having fun. The second game I definitely lost because I had 20 cards removed at the beginning of the game. And so luckily Tim was like, you guys are at bottom tables, I'm not going to give you judge damage. But
you guys suck. Yeah. You guys suck. No judge damage terrible. For you.
Yeah. So the first game I burned him to death, and the second one he beat me because I had no cards in my deck. Like I milled myself out with the power of the abyss. And then the third game, like I build, he builds, and then he goes like Storm of Torment, Gauges, Relentless, Storm of Torment, Gauges. So he's like 4 things of left, and then he goes like some other attack, and then 2 ace maneuvers that got 12 damage each. And I was like, wow.
I guess you fucking died.
That's a lot of damage, dude. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I guess sometimes the 5-hander draws 18 attacks and 2 of them are ace maneuver.
It was a lot of fun popping around and watching different people's stuff for sure. Like,
oh sure, yeah.
Got to see some cool shit. That was cool. It was neat. Definitely watching the Ben Lambright Keenan Meadows matchup at like round 2 was very fun. They had like a lot of like going back and forth, and like it came down pretty much to the wire. I mean, Keenan obviously won it because he's Swiss champ, but it was cool to watch. It was a lot of interaction. A lot of like, it wasn't like checking bad ruined us the game. It was like, let's do our big things and then get there.
That must be fun because Ben was playing like a reversal heavy deck, right? With like friends and rivals.
He was certainly playing the Meteor Loop.
Oh.
With like Kale Yuga. So he was definitely like I'm pretty sure the only 2 attacks I saw in that guy's deck were he definitely played Nouveau Soleil because I watched him play 3 of them in a row at 4 difficulty.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He was playing Nouveau Soleil's, Forbidden Moonsets, Meteors. I didn't see really the rest. He probably had Raptor Rushes, stuff like that. But
yeah, Ben really likes the order symbol. He was kind of like the Eda 9 order.
Yeah, he loved that. He played at 9 off order. It's good though. I mean, a lot of people have their own little like things they like playing.
Yeah,
you
he
like
was
playing
in his
order,
comfort
like playing
zone.
order.
Yeah, and then I know Keenan played that Esruth deck in the last Legendary Wolf tournament, so he was probably like testing for that. Yeah. I having like commentating over the retro event was a lot of fun just because of all the spooky like fun shit that you get to be hype about. Like watching, who was the guy? It was Ryan Fields, Sebastian deck.
Yeah, in retro,
right?
Yeah.
Like trying to kill Shiva from 40 health with a bunch of these, like trying to roll 5s 22 times kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
It's always fun to watch moments like that. Like I had to go back and watch when Mark Tyner killed me with the Flame Aura. Because I wanted to see how you guys reacted. And
I imagine it was like not like this.
Yeah. No. Like none of you called it. I thought that you guys would all see it because I didn't see it at all. Like I was so engrossed in like how I was gonna get there on that turn with the Blood for Bloods that when he threw it, I was laughing so hard. It was so funny, dude. And then you guys were like, "Oh, he flipped the table. He's so mad." And I was like, "No way, dude. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen."
He's pissed.
He's pissed. He's angry. Like, no, man. You can ask Mark. We were having a ball the entire time.
Yeah, that was one of the weird ones. It was late. It was way less. That one was way less exciting than when we were like, Colby, not like this.
Yeah, everybody saw the Flame Aura coming at the very end. Yeah. Because you had seen it already at that point, right? And he cut himself down to 1. I wonder if Colby saw it coming. Like if he just like, if he's got it, he's got it. You know, one of those situations. Sometimes you're there, and it's Mark. So I mean, Mark always has got it.
Yeah, Mark's always got it.
He's always got it.
That dude's the mega sack.
But yeah, commentating is always fun. And spectating, it's interesting how fun UFS is as a spectator sport. You know, like
Sure.
I'm not surprised that there were 60 people watching because it's fun to like speculate what's going to happen. And when you have like talented guys like Tam and Phil and Tim and even Barrett came on later, you know, that's always fun and hype to watch along with. So.
I loved the channel points betting.
Oh yeah. I came into that a little bit later.
The channel points betting, and I'm like a commentator, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but it's fine. Let's bet it all. We're picking favorites.
Right.
There was no unbiased commentary from me.
They don't need you for that, right?
I won like 60,000 on Ryan Field beating the Goro.
Well, good. I hate Goro.
We came into the match in like game 3 and everybody bet fucking Goro. And I was like, what if we bet 10 grand on this guy? And it was like 6-1 odds. It was awesome. I loved it. And then I lost 76,000 on Mike Lowe.
Yeah, Mike Lowe tragically blocking an attack he sure didn't need to block.
The folly of man after 13 hours of playing the game.
So do you think they're going to do another one of these standard events online, or do you think they're going to try to actually do PTCs once the because the vaccine's coming through, right?
I mean, that's like that's the hope, right? But I think that I don't see them doing PTCs until at least next summer.
Right.
I think it would be wildly ambitious to try to do something before so.
Right.
And I don't even know like what the state of Worlds is, you know? Like, do they push it back? Like further back into like do they try and hold Worlds in the summer, or like do they just fucking say, all right, there was no Worlds, there was no Nationals kind of thing. But I think regardless, like we're gonna have to like they're gonna seriously have to think about like safety precautions and stuff for these events.
Yeah, for sure. Regardless, I mean, you gotta like that's kind of like that's not like a uniquely Jasco thing, right? Like
no, that's every game.
Are we gonna have businesses that are like, you gotta prove that you've taken this vaccine to come in? You know, like,
sure. Like bringing you like my dog going to the vet, I have to bring his little rabies tag. Like,
sure, yeah.
you gotta bring your COVID card, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure that little certificate.
I'm sure the crazies will come out and fucking force about that, but it may be necessary. Yeah,
fuck them, dude. I'm not trying to go to like a card game event with a bunch of unvaccinated, smelly people that already don't shower, dude. Like, I'm good.
True.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You're already I already get sick every fucking tournament because you motherfuckers are grimy, dude. And I let you touch my deck to cut it. You're grimy. Get out. We have to like wear gloves during rounds. Like, I would be totally cool with that. Make me wear a mask and some gloves, dude. Easy. Yeah. I don't want to touch your deck as much as I don't want you touching mine at this point, dude.
Right.
In the service industry, I've literally said multiple times now, I'm like, I never want another person talking to me within like 3 feet without having a mask on again in my entire life.
Yeah, that's been so crazy for me, is just like how many of the things have changed in terms of my germophobia. Because before this, I was not at all, you know, like
same.
Being a music teacher, like I shared mics with kids all the time, which is stupid. Kids are so fucking gross.
Yeah, kids are gross, dude.
You know, and I would get sick all the time because of it, right? But like literally, like I have this microphone right here, and I'm like, here you go, kid, talking to this microphone, and vice versa, and like, you know, touching shit all the time. And I would like use hand sanitizer in between my lessons and things like that. But like now, like I'm like, I would never use somebody else's microphone. I would never, like, I went to some like birthday thing for my sister's grandma. There were like 4 people there. It wasn't like a gathering, right? But like my sister's grandma cut a cake and used her hand to pick up the cake, and I was like, I'm good.
Like, oh no, thank you, Grandma. I'm actually I don't like cake anymore. I'm
all right. Yeah, I'm allergic to lemon. I'm allergic to lemon.
I can't have lemon cake. Sorry. Yeah, no. I feel the same way, because like usually I'd be like, fuck it, whatever. Like if I get sick like once a year. Like honestly, having like germs and stuff it's like you should introduce those into your immune system, because then your immune system knows what to fight. Like,
sure.
I'm not saying like be super grimy or whatever, but it's like it's never occurred to me to be like, God, I gotta wash my hands every 5 minutes.
Yeah, roll in the mud. The mud.
It's like I'm not gonna like wash my hands every 5 minutes. Like I'm not gonna wash my hands every time I touch something. Like I've never been that kind of person. Now I'm like, we'll hit this hand sanitizer every time I touch anything. And like, particularly people talking to me without a mask on, I never want to see it again. Like, don't come near me. I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah. The one thing I really liked about this, because I did go to a Warhammer tournament, but like we have to be 6 feet apart because there's a giant table in between.
Yeah, there's a big ass table.
Yeah. And like, I don't touch any of their shit. They don't touch any of my shit. It's great. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I can have that with UFS. Like, stop touching my deck. I'll cut my own deck.
Yeah. Like judge with the gloves. They got like, you set your decks to the side and they have like the team of judges come by and cut everybody's deck between games.
What I want to do is like pull out my kerchief and like,
yeah, like I'm telling you, dude, I'm going to bring a box of latex gloves with me to tournaments, dude.
Yeah.
Latex gloves and my mask. They're like, what are you doing? They're going to be like, what are you doing, man? We got vaccinated. I'm like, you're still gross. You're still a smelly card game player. I don't want you near me. Absolutely not. Yeah. I'm going to get my Check 5s, Take Lives face mask, and I'm going to wear some gloves, dude.
Do you think it's going to be monthly like the retro events have been?
I think they should try and start rolling stuff out like that. I think like you want to still garner interest. I understand you haven't been able to release stuff. You haven't been able to release stuff, but you want community engagement. You want your players to still be like, let's fucking do stuff. Like, I honestly think they should release a set. I know like that's probably not financially responsible maybe in their eyes, but like every other game that's big is still releasing stuff.
Yeah,
You've got to give the community something. And like, honestly, not every, like at this point, I'm pretty sure like game stores are just open. Maybe not for like play, not in every state. Like I'm in Michigan. We can't fucking do anything. I've been at home for like another 2 weeks, like just hanging. But like, I know in like the South and like shit, you guys can still go and do stuff. Like, I don't think it's responsible, but like you fuck it. I can order packs online. I'm going to do it. I just want to I want new stuff.
Yeah, I think that they should try to get one in the first quarter of next year at the very least. Like, just like pound it out, and because like
Maybe you don't want to do My Hero Academia while people are fucking stuck at home being fucking
sure, but they have
monsters,
they've talked about the Street Fighter set. They've talked about Red Horizon.
Another Red Horizon set.
There's a lot of other things that you could be doing. I get that they want to make the My Hero thing the biggest release of all time, forever and ever and ever. But
I am totally okay if just like every single other time they've released a Red Horizon set, if you just give me a Red Horizon filler set. I don't give a shit.
Sounds good.
Red Horizon sets are all filler to me. I don't care about the property at all, but like here's some cards, new stuff.
What's the caveat? Oh my gosh. The caveat is just like play test it.
Fuck it. Don't play test it. I don't give a shit if it's broken. Listen, I want you to know that if they already have this shit ready to go, it's not play tested, baby.
All right.
It's too late. There's no taste testing for this Red Horizon set that's already printed, dude.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised though if they did have like a couple sets that have already are sitting in the warehouse ready to go.
They're just waiting. Yeah, they should probably just put them out.
I would say at least one, dude. Like our last set release was last November.
Yeah.
Last November, I believe. Yeah, it was because Libra came out the same weekend I won the November PTC in Indy.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, give us something.
Yeah.
Wet our whistle. I understand the year's tough, but like,
yeah, it would be interesting to have like a standard event and a retro event. But I think for some people, like $80 a month for two of these events is going to be a little bit much.
They're expensive as fuck. Also,
yeah.
Why aren't they $20?
Yeah, I don't understand why they're not a little bit cheap. Like they're trying to make the prizes like more desirable with all the like these promos and things like that. But like, man, I wouldn't care if you
PTCs are $20.
Yeah, well, they're $20 because they're not shipping everything to everybody, right? Like, there's no $7 extra thing for shipping.
Charge me $27.
Well, holo guards are expensive, and they wanted to give like a flight voucher for the fucking standard one. Who cares about the flight voucher right now, man? Just like pump out the events. Keep attention on your game.
Give me your fucking 4 hollows. Put them in a little sleevey. Throw them in a bubble mailer.
Yeah,
ship them out.
Don't need a mat. Don't need a mat.
I don't need a mat. I don't need you to fucking put my cards in plastic things.
Put Jasco dollars. You know, you don't have to ship Jasco dollars, dude. And it's going straight back to you.
True. And also your products are way more expensive on your website. Just give me Jasco bucks. Mm-hmm. Like your products are actually incredibly expensive because you don't want to undercut retailers. And that's perfect. That's good. That makes sense. Yep. But yeah, it's all going back to you.
Yeah. So that's high on my list. Just, new set.
I think they should do standard though. I don't know about I like the idea that retro is like an online only format, but I think there should be more every couple months at least. They should be doing a standard one.
I think the standard should probably be the monthly one, and the retro one should be the more like
a little bit more spread out. But honestly, like if they blew through all the promos they were supposed to give out at PTCs this year, like what are the prizes even going to be?
True.
I can get foil shadow slices, I guess, because they already had those printed before it got banned.
Oops.
Yeah, I would hope to get back to doing stuff next year. I fucking am so goddamn bored. I want to travel. And I don't care if I get shitted on at these fucking PTCs. I want to travel. I want to play dumb shit. I want to hang out with my friends. Like,
yeah, dude. Play Bakugo.
I'm not playing Bakugo because I think Bakugo sucks, but I do support you playing Bakugo, and I thought your deck was cool. I thought your deck was cool and totally could have won the whole thing if
It was
you
fun.
ran hot. You had to run hot.
I had to run hot. I had to get all the cards.
This is the true embodiment of the fire symbol, dude. Run hot, win a tournament.
Yeah. But yeah,
when is the last time fire won a tournament?
Won a tournament?
Like a PTC. Is that fucking Mad Perot?
I think it's gotta be, right?
Like Mad Perot winning Rockford PTC because Mark Wisniewski took Keenan Meadows' deck, like card for card, and beat my ass in the finals.
Can't remember, but I don't know. I wasn't super paying attention to every PTC.
I think it's gotta be that. I can't think of a fire character past Mad Perot.
Yeah, fire has not been in a hot spot. Like I know there's always the like Kung Jins and
I guess that fucking that
didn't win.
That Tiger Fury deck didn't win.
Yeah, it didn't win. But Nightmare hasn't won any events.
Did Nightmare win a PTC? No, that was evil if it did.
I don't think it won anything. Like teams, there was a Nightmare deck, maybe.
I don't know. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, fire. Yeah, fire is definitely run hot. Maybe win.
Fire's run hot and maybe win. You got to run hot the whole time though.
Yeah,
you have to truly embody fire.
I definitely posit that if there ever is a 7-hand size Bakugo, oh boy, that's gonna be fucked up because loser in a 7-hander is
way better.
Yeah, it's because you must run like 12 actions in that deck, and you want to hold flame auras, and you want to build a million, and like it's just, and also it gets you deeper into your deck faster, right?
Sure, yeah. No, it's I agree. That would be a much better character as a 7-hander.
And we're assuming that the 7-hander actually does something because the Bakugo in my deck did nothing except.
Hey, dude, if they block your flame auras, you can discard them from the card pool.
Yeah, I want to discard my flame. The only time I responded all day was one time when I wanted to play a Dark Kirito, and I discarded a Boner Flame, which has Fury.
Oh, Boner Flame's got Fury. Good.
Yeah.
You can discard Boner Flame anytime you want, dude.
Yeah, you can. And most of the time I forget because
that effect doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything, yeah. But
yeah. I mean that's pretty cool. I liked it. I like the idea of it. I think retro is kind of just whatever. I mean, it doesn't really fucking tickle my fancy in any sort of way.
Sure.
Retro always, to me, feels like, as an idea, ways for people who have spent money on cards to get like some value out of cards that have rotated. But that doesn't matter online because everybody has everything. So like to me, retro just feels like it's extra. It just feels like
it was cool and novel.
Piece.
Like so in my head, it was like subbing out a new set with like, hey, check out all these old cards, new players, right?
Sure.
It's almost like having a new set because you're playing with all these.
Yeah, it lets people who haven't seen these cards get to play with them again.
Yeah, and it is technically like a new format. Like it was a clever way to make it so that you were playing with fun and new combos and cards that nobody had thought about yet, without having to release a new set. So it was cool for that, but like they kind of ran out of things.
Yeah, they're kind of milking it.
Yeah.
They're milking it and just banning stuff in it to like try and keep the format fresh. But
yeah, it's like I didn't play in the last two tournaments. One I was commentating, one I was dealing with some personal stuff. But like even then, I'm not like super hyped to play in this next retro event. It's just kind of like,
yeah.
And like I have fun because it's UFS and I want to play UFS. But like, there's nothing new in the format. They just keep banning the things that end up overperforming.
Hey, make the Santa Claus cards legal. The ones that you already printed and had broken effects on. Make them legal.
Make them legal, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they can. Maybe there's some spicy stuff. They had that purple card thing that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is not me complaining about retro, but I know.
No, sure. It must
seem like how much of a ninny I must sound. Like, I'm not really excited.
We're not complaining about retro. Yeah. We are more enthusiastic about playing more standard.
Yeah, I want more standard.
That's the primary format of the game. It always has been.
Yeah.
Win a championship, win a character, win teams, win an asset or foundation. Like that's the stuff that we want to get back to because that's where we're at. Unless they're gonna do retro events in person.
Yeah, and think about how much content we can actually put out if there were more events, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we can still we're putting out like a retro event and we're just like speculating every time what's gonna happen because it's like who's gonna show up with some weird shit this time,
right?
instead of like when when we're making the video, we're like, yeah, Kevin 2 or Ash is gonna win the event, or like Kevin 2 is gonna win the event, and Ash is banned, so it gives him a better chance.
Right.
And then we just know that because we're fucking savants. It's like we know what's
Idiot
good.
savants.
We're idiot savants. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's yeah. I think they'll probably end up changing Kevin in some way because I know that they hate negative play experience more than they hate making new sets.
Sure.
Which is a lot because they hate making new sets. But anything that ruins fun for new players, they immediately change in some way. Jason hates it. Jason hates it when new players aren't allowed to win the game, which I think is stupid. But that's why attacks are 20 damage now. Because anybody can eat a 20 damage attack and kill somebody.
It's true.
It takes skill to craft a turn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff. We had, I don't know. We look forward to more.
Yep. Give me more.
Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me PTCs next summer. Give me Worlds next summer. Give me Nationals next fall.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if they're 2 days apart. I'll go to both of them anyway. I need it. I need it. I'll take a fucking year off of fucking work to go and play in PTCs. I need it. I'm craving it.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
pretty
Legendary
much it, right?
Legendary Wolf Games, give me more money than you were so I can go and do more things. But actually, we're probably not going to have sponsored players next year. I would guess not. So unfun stuff. We sponsor us. Sponsor us, somebody.
Yeah, we need a title sponsor.
We need sugar daddies. So we can go play card games.
All the ones we can get, so we can go travel to events, guys.
Which is a perfect bridge to Patreon. We recently over the weekend with the launch of that standard event opened a Patreon to help get some support for just doing this. I mean, it takes a little bit of time out of our days, not too terribly, but we would love it to get some kind of just support so we can make it bigger, better, and more fun for everybody.
For sure. Yeah, like we brought it up because some guys were asking, hey, do you have a Patreon? Do you have this? And it was enough that I was like, hey, yeah, I'll put some time into figuring it out. So if you want to just buy us a beer once a month, sign up, and we'll, twiddle your nipples a little bit or something like that.
Yeah, sure. We only have 3 tiers right now, a $1 tier, a $3 tier, and a $5 tier. $1 is just general support. If you like the show, throw us a buck. Helps. Everything helps. Yeah. $3, you can get into our official Unfun Stuff Discord, where we will, I don't know, we'll pop in. We can play games there, do stuff like that, chat about if you have questions about anything, you want to bring up topics you think would be cool for us to talk about. We won't necessarily take all of those things, but hey, I mean, the more the merrier. And if we're going to be playing cards anyway, we might as well have a little community that wants to do it as well. True. And then a $5 tier, which not only will you be buying us beer, because that's how $5 works, because beers are about $5 a piece, depending on what you get. We will, same thing as the other one, you get the Discord, but we also will be doing exclusive deck review videos where you send us decks. We'll either make fun of them. Send us whatever you want. If you want us to make fun of it, we'll make fun of it. If you want to send us a serious deck and we rate it, we can do that. But once a month you'll get to do that, and it'll be pretty cool. Just Patreon exclusive videos, stuff like that. We also get early access to some of these. We'll post them a day before or so on the fucking Patreon.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll release more tiers once people start trickling in. Once there's more stuff for us to do, I would love to have content where I do live travel vlogs, stuff like that. But obviously there's no PTCs. I would love it to have probably a 1 person per month tier, or per month that has a PTC tier, where for some denomination of money you pick a character and I have to play it. That would probably be a fun one to get with the community. But anyway, yeah, that's we're launching that. We also launched a little bit of a merch store, which is fun.
Drew, we'll have links. Get your Check Fives Take Live shirt here.
Not joggers though. We have not worked out the logistics of joggers yet.
Every time I build the joggers, the Check Fives goes directly into your butthole. So
yeah, it
hasn't been working out.
Right up there. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna work on just making it bigger, better. Get a logo, get everything like that. So yeah, subscribe to our Twitch, twitch.tv/unfunstuff. subscribe to YouTube. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Anybody you know that likes playing UFS and wants to listen to two handsome guys talk about it with controversial or uncontroversial opinions, depending on the topic and the day of the week. Help us out. Yeah. But that's all we got for the day, folks. We'll try and get you another video, I don't know, next week. Fucking the week after. Who knows? We're going to try and be pretty regular with these.
Wednesdays
with us, even though it's Tuesday today.
Well, I gotta edit the video, turd witch.
True. Tuesdays we're recording. Wednesdays we're posting. Wednesday early access. Thursday upload.
Yeah,
right.
Unless you want to have 0 shotgun slaps, then I will just stuff it on Tuesdays.
We need shotgun slaps.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Brewing with Birch and Bromley. We always appreciate the support, and check out all of our other stuff. I love it.